Three, two. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Raidcall Summer EMS qualifications for the American Group Stage. Thank you for joining us. My name is Maut. With me tonight is B-Ball. How are you today?
I'm doing quite well, and this is a matchup between two of the more known teams in this particular tournament, and hopefully some of the other known teams will sign up for some of the future cups, as this is a 4 or 5 week session, 2 days of cups every weekend. So, and of course, happening at American friendly hours. So please do sign up if you like it, and you might have a chance to actually qualify for the LAN finals in Poland. So definitely shouts to Raidcall for putting on this tournament and the EMS. But yeah, two known teams, Dust Gaming and Artyk.
That's right, Arctic Gaming, of course, from Peru. Dust Gaming, of course, American as well. So we're going to see how both teams play up. Arctic's had some strong play recently. I think they've played in a lot of decent tournaments. Of course, I saw them last myself in casting in terms of just myself casting was, of course, ATOD. Kind of a fun little tournament there. But, of course, Arctic, now in a little bit of a more serious environment. We'll see how they do. As we're going to pick up the Codal band first from the side of Dust Gaming, and we're going to get into the big bands real quick. And this is going to be the quarterfinal game, so potentially the last game for us tonight. So make sure you guys are watching this. Hopefully, see some good games or some good picks as well. Meanwhile, we're going to get another band coming out. It's going to be the Bat Rider coming out from the side of Arctic, who don't have their banner, but that's fine. Meanwhile, another band coming out, of course, from Dust Gaming. So, Bat Rider not going to be seen again. Of course, Ware picked up Bat Rider in the previous game with Oathkeeper playing him, but now that hero is gone. So I think teams are going to be looking for. In terms of the bans, we've seen a lot of first bans for the Wisp, a lot of course, first bans for the Nakes. So in the event that Nakes probably gets through here, I imagine he gets picked up with first pick from Dust Gaming, and I think that's what Dust is thinking about with their next ban. Uh, I think Lifestealer is one of the most picked carries as of right now, at least in terms of the American players. Just they love going for that Lifestealer. And there's the Wisp band coming out from Dust Gaming, and now another band coming out from the side of Arctic Gaming here. And so if they don't ban at the Lifestealer, I gotta say I think Dust is probably gonna pick that up.
Yeah, Lifestealer is definitely a very powerful carry. He can be laned pretty much anywhere. You can even lane him against solo against a shot in certain situations. Not in all situations, but in certain situations, he does so much damage very early on. And of course, the Magic community just makes him so damn survivable. And we're going to see a Dark Seer, so that leaves Lifestealer, Magnus, and Lone Druid all left in the pool. And keep in mind, Magnus synergizes with a couple of those heroes. The Empower, especially with the Bear, is just so very powerful. Dust Gang going to pick the Lifestealer for themselves, but this does leave the Lone Druid Magnus combination open for the side of Arctic, and they are going to pick up the Magnus. We'll see. They're going to choose the Rubik as well. Interesting, but I guess it's also to protect the Magnus, as Dust Gang did not pick up the support with their first two choices, so they did have access into a support with their next two, and they want to protect the Magnus, which makes a lot of sense. So they're going to choose a Magnus. A little bit disappointed because from what I remember from Arctic in some of the matches I watched, they really like to use a TA for Smash. His TA is really, really powerful, but they're going to choose Magnus, which will most likely be running the mid lane. And this is overall pretty standard draft, really nothing too out of the ordinary. And we'll see if Dust Gang decides to run that sort of dual carry core that IG popularized with the Lifestealer and the Launcher. They don't have the Magnus to back it up with the Empower or that AoE lockdown, and they are melee for the most part, so Magnus should have an easier time getting an RP. But still, that really tanky, really strong DPSing dual core, it's picked for a reason.
Absolutely. I mean, and Lifestealer is just one of the strongest heroes out there right now. Shadow Demon going to get picked up here from the side of Dust Gaming. Pretty standard support pickup there. Mentioned the Rubik support, just going to protect that Magnus, make sure there is no reverse polarity stolen from that Rubik. It is going to be a Rubik pickup, of course, for Arctic Gaming, so they've got that going for them. And now the Lone Druid for Dust Gaming, and they've got that Syllabear. They've got plenty of pushing potential now. They have plenty of damage coming up from the Bear as well as the Lifestealer in terms of carry potential if they can get that farm. And already, Dust Gaming's lineup, I think, is pretty strong. No matter how you lane this, I imagine it's going to be some sort of tri-lane for, of course, the Lifestealer and the Shadow Demon, and another support, send the Low Druid into an off lane or something like that, or just do an aggressive tri-lane with Dust Gaming. You've got the Lifestealer already, you have the Shadow Demon, just get another, potential stun coming out from either Lena or Leshrac, or even just another hero in general, and I think you have a pretty good aggressive tri-lane coming out from the side of Dust Gaming. Meanwhile, Arctic Gaming, they have the Magnus picked up. They've got Rubik. The next question is, what do they want to pick up next? They want to pick up another support. They want to pick up a carry or an offlaner. They've got to go into the reserve time to think about it right now. And I don't know what they're going to go. Do you have any thoughts on what they might pick up here? Perhaps the offlaner or something like that, or the carry?
Well, they're definitely probably going to save their carry for the last choice, as they're going to choose the carry right now. So I guess that does synergize quite well with the Magnus getting the Empower. And yeah, I actually forgot to mention, yeah, Anti-Mage, of course, is a very solid choice, because I think Dust Gaming would have probably banned it out, because one of the best ways to sort of deal with this dual carry lineup is just to never fight him. And Anti-Mage, very good at not fighting heroes. He split pushes like very few others until he gets maxed out. And that will always be a problem, because one of the problems with this dual carry strategy that Dust Gaming is going for is it's not really that mobile. Of course, you can teleport back with the lifestealer inside to sort of do the lifestealer bomb. That is very well known. But for the most part, they want to be grouped up as a group, so they can just siege towers with the lone druid, use that lifesteal rage, and just go to work on the towers without too much risk. But NTH, with the ability to pressure other lanes relentlessly, could be a bit of an issue. One thing I'm a bit worried about is something that you did mention a couple of seconds ago, the possibility of an aggressive trial, because Anti-Mage really not that powerful in an aggressive or in a defensive trialing. He does have the mana bear, and lifestealer is pretty mana dependent for the most part. Rubik, not the most powerful, and Dust Gaming definitely have the components to do that. And more often than not, when you do get the lone druid in conjunction with the lifestealer, you do want to have the lone druid in a more favorable matchup, and aggressive trialing is usually the way to run the lifestealer when you do have the lone druid to help you. So that could be a bit of an issue for the Anti-Mage. He could potentially get shut down very early on, but it's a pretty solid choice, because I think Dust Gaming would have probably banned it out. And when it comes down to the mid to later stages of the game, you want to have the Anti-Mage split push, just so that Dust Gaming never really gets the opportunity to go to work on your towers and your buildings.
You're absolutely right, and I think right now, Anti-Mage certainly could be a good matchup for them. I mean, like they have to get room for that Anti-Mage to farm first and foremost. He needs to be able to get farmed, needs to be able to have room, and I think Magnus is going to be able to do a good job of that in the mid stage of the game when he gets level 6, when he gets that reverse polarity. The Rubik is going to be great, I think, for supporting him, but if it's an aggressive trialing versus a trialing, it's going to be really tough. That Lich just can go to town. I mean, Anti-Mage can avoid a lot of ganks with, of course, that blink, but at the same time, I mean, they can kill the supports in that lane and just make it hell for them essentially. And I was in fact, I agree with you completely. I'm very surprised that they picked up the anti-mage and didn't go for something else in terms of like, I'm not sure why they picked up their carry first and just waited to see what the rest of the lineup was going to be. But at the same time, I mean, they want to play with the anti-mage. They want to play that style of play. That's fine. And they need more components around that anti-mage right now. And I think that I was actually about to say that a Nature's Prophet could have worked really well for them, but Dust Gaming is going to very smartly ban that out. Just make sure that Furion isn't there. He's such a strong hero, and I think he's sort of starting to really be seen a whole lot in the metagame. I mean, even he's just been picked so many different times recently, and for good reason. Skywrath ban's going to come out from Artyk. I mean, Skywrath's such a strong mid hero as well. Not surprised that they banned him out right now. But Dust Gaming, they've got a choice for a support or a mid hero here. I imagine they pick up a mid. There's a lot of bans. So.
This is a little bit tricky, because I mean, you can sort of understand where the Lena band's coming from. They want to protect the Magnus, and this is why all the bands are centered around sort of either a mid hero that can really do well against Magnus, or in conjunction with the Shouting, that roaming ganking power to deal with the Magnus. But they left the Puck out, and I think Puck is going to be really, really good, because if you manage to get a fast dagger up on the Puck, the Anti-Mage is just going to die, especially the Lifestealer Bomb. I mean, if Dust Gaming want to have or Dust Gaming have a really strong Puck player, which they should, Puck is a pretty popular hero, then they should make great usage of that hero. I think Puck is pretty much the obvious choice in this situation, and they're actually going to pick up Jakiro.
But then again, you gotta think: does Artyk pick up the Puck just to make sure that Dust Gaming doesn't have it? No, they go for Templar Assassin instead, which could potentially be a good matchup against Puck if they want to go down that route. Looks like Magnus is actually going to be in his solo lane here, which is okay. I think he works better in that mid lane, unless they want to put Templar Assassin somewhere else, which I'd be very surprised to see if they put Templar Assassin anywhere but mid. I think Magnus probably is a little bit of a better choice in terms of a safe lane.
This is surprisingly greedy by Artyk, because they're already facing one of the more powerful dual carry lineups, and they have powerful supports to back them up. They have a lot of range, and I feel like Magnus has got to play mid. If he gets in the offlane, you just get shut down, because he can't jungle in comparison to other offlaners like a Darkseer, like a Barret, or like a Lone Druid. He can't jungle well at all. He wants to have the levels up in power to amplify the Templar. And keep in mind, I did say Smash does play a good TA, and like you said, that could be a preemptive choice against a Puck, but this is such a greedy lineup, and you're facing two carries that do get going rather quickly. So I don't know about Arctic's draft at the moment.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I agree 100%. I think that it was a really greedy lineup. I think they could They could surprise us gaming though with just Arctic's play alone. I think they've got high enough player skill on the side of Arctic to really make up for their loss in the draft here. If I mean, this is a big if still. They're taking a long time to think about this mid pickup. It's going to be the gyrocopter, and honestly, I don't necessarily mind that pickup. Puck might be the better choice against Magnus or Anti-Mage even, but the gyrocopter is going to be really effective in the Templar Assassin. I mean, Templar Assassin is not going to be skilling up side blades early on. It's always going to be that refraction. That refraction is going to get bursted down if she even gets close. I mean, the gyrocopter with that rocket barrage is going to be so effective. And then the Nyx Assassin final pickup here for the side of course, of Artyk Gaming. And I think that's another great pickup for them as well. That's going to provide a little bit of more defensive playability in that tri lane. I mean, if they don't get that Nyx Assassin in that ice path, that's something you're going to have to keep in mind. Of course, you can just run right into that ice path with a spike carapace on as well. There's always that. So I'm surprised they went for the gyrocopter, but not like 100% surprised. But what's interesting though is that they have like three potential damage dealers here from the gyrocopter, from the lone druid, and from the life stealer. But at the same time, it's not necessarily like they have to wait until it's later stages of the game when they're going to be really getting going here. I think they're going to be all able to do a lot of damage early on, especially of course that gyrocopter with that rocket barrage and its early abilities, as flat cannon as well. Call down at level 6 is going to be so nice to have. But I don't know. What are you thinking in terms of the TA versus the gyrocopter mid, if that is in fact what it's going to be?
I think I have to completely agree with you here. At first, I didn't really like it because I thought Puck would just be so good against a Magnus as well as the Anti-Mage, more specifically against Anti-Mage, but against the mid lane matchup, which Artyk is placing a lot of stock in. And maybe they've watched some Artyk plays, they know Smash does play a really strong TA. They want to have the gyrocopter just so they can actually potentially win the lane. And they do have the capability to do that with the Shadow Demon, with the Jakiro potentially roaming in. What I'm a little bit worried about for the side of Dust Gaming is mana, because they only have one Arcane Boots character. Well, they have two if the Jakiro, but they're facing a mana burn. They're facing a lot of right-click damage from the anti-age if he ever decides to fight, which might not be an issue. But mana could be a little bit of a scarce resource. Lone Druid, of course, doesn't need mana too much, but Gyrocopter could. And the roaming early on, TA, if they manage to engage against the Gyrocopter with the help of the Rubik and the NA, that could be a bit of an issue. So this draft, I'm favoring Dust Gaming a bit more, but there are definitely factors that can make Artyk get themselves back in the game. And it's really going to come down to whether it's going to be an aggressive trial or not. And I think Dust Gaming should go on the offensive.
Yeah, I agree with you here. I mean, I don't see any way that they can do an aggressive tri lane on the side of Arctic unless they just want to try to avoid the tri lane, which I don't think they're going to do. I think they will send this bottom. But we will get into the game here as the game does get in pause. It's a pretty cool courier on the Radiant side. That is pretty awesome. As we jump into the game, on the Radiant side, on Arctic Gaming, we're going to see Smash on the Templar Assassin, IWO on the Anti-Mage, MST Co. will be on the Rubik. Going to see this stand-in who is Pandora up on the Nyx Assassin, and Mihawk will be on the Magnus. Meanwhile, on the side of Dust Gaming, we're going to see Cran Marker will be on the Gyrocopter. Going to see Sna on the Lone Druid. C7A551C will be on the Jakiro. Guys, your names are ridiculous. Chim Zaza will be on the Life Stealer, and Ush will be on the Shadow Demon, and it will be an aggressive tri-lane here versus a defensive tri-lane. Not a big surprise. TA going to go mid. Gyro going to be mid on the side of the Dire. Top lane, solo safe lane, DG, SNA, and on that Syllabear, and it's going to be Mihawk on the top lane as well. And honestly, I think that that Syllabear should have a pretty good time against this Magnus. We will have to see how it does pan out, though, as we will get another pause this time from the Jakiri. And one dropped, apparently. No. Nope, they're just kidding. Looking at, and you made a good point of the last game of just checking in and seeing who's got the smokes. Ush actually has some smokes on him right now. Well, one smoke for the Shadow Demon. Any smokes on the supports from the side of Arctic? No, there's no smokes right now on the supports. No smokes on the anti-mage, so they're not going to be doing that early roaming. Then again, Smash has to be very aware that he's probably going to be targeted very early on. He's going for a circlet, not going for a super greedy build. I think he got that regen pooled. Yeah, you can see the tangos are from Pandora, so that's pooled regen for Smash. So it's going to make it a little bit easier for him to get to that bottle. And this bear is actually going to try to deny this rune. But the bear can't attack it. It's too far away. But he's just going to pick it up with the bear instead. So he's just going to pick up the regen rune. Nice timing there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like there was about to be some sort of fighting here. But they do throw down the Observer Ward for the Dire side. And Jakiro just narrowly getting away, I think, from any sort of engagement there. Meanwhile, Radiant Ward here. Interesting placement. I'm surprised they put it there. It does give them a little vision, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, as the Dire did waste a little bit of mana, open wounds and disruption were used, but that's really not going to matter too much. One thing that could be a bit of an issue is that anti-mage is pooled, and usually when you're pooled, that's going to be all well and good for your carry or for the other hero who does get pulled. What could be an issue is that the supports are fighting with a lot less regen or with a lot less sustainability, and that could be trouble in an aggressive trial scenario. And I think the Dire probably recognize that. Okay, the anti-mage is pulled. We'll focus our attentions on the Nyx as well as the Rubik, and if they do that, they should be able to kill these supports very, very easily, and that does sort of help to free up the roaming capabilities of the other two heroes because Anti-H won't really engage upon the other two or on the Lifesteal by himself. But actually, we're going to see the next wraparound placing the ward, but that is going to be immediately scoped out by the Dire Sentry, and that is kind of a waste of a little bit of gold. And smart play by the Shadow Demon saving one Observe ward or one Sentry ward. So if they do go for a mid gank, they have the Sentry ward to drop to try to scout the TA. But right now, Evo is just farming it up. Lifestealer is farming up as well, but Evo 7 CS in the first two waves, so almost last hitting every single creep. But yeah, Magnus with Lone Druid should be fully in advantage of the Lone Druid. Magnus can sort of hold his own once he gets some more levels, but still does have to be careful. And with Aura Venom, it's just going to be much more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, speaking of EW's farm, the farm from Smash right now, he's sitting at 8 CS and 5 denies, 9 CS now. So he's having a very good time in that mid lane. Gyrocopter only sitting at 5 right now, so he's not too far behind, but still those denies are going to hurt him in terms of his experience gain as well. EWO, he's sitting at level 2 right now. He's going to have 600 gold, and they want to be aggressive here. You can tell from DG's side they want to be aggressive, but they don't have enough mana for that open wounds. The mana burn has gone twice. The clarity's up again, so he can mana burn once more if he really feels like it. They're going to go for an Impale on 3 right now. Nice Impale. The Ice Path's going to fly. Telekinesis as well. Disruption available. Can use it defensively. There's the Fade Bolt. Jakiro is going to take some damage, but that's not going to be first blood, but just nice aggressive play coming out from the side of Artyk here.
Yeah, really, really nicely done. Taking advantage of the low mana cost, like you said, and also their level advantage, because Lifesteal was not yet at level 2. He just managed to pick up that level 2, so he couldn't even do that feast edge to the anti-mage as a bit of counter harassment. And Jakiro is going to be forced to use his clarity, so despite being pulled the anti-mage, or pulling the anti-mage, the support's actually doing a lot of work for the Rain at this point. And this is a bit concerning, because the Rain looks like they're just going to keep their supports in there, and that's really preventing the Dire supports from roaming in and trying to get out the TA, who does do decently against the Gyrocopter, and you can see the Gyrocopter really playing super passively for the most part. Maybe intimidated by this matchup, should just probably be like diving in, forcing some rocket barrages, but it is a bit trickier when creeps are there. But right now TA has free reign, and TA, if she manages to get her momentum going, she will be incredibly difficult to stop, especially for these slow, immobile heroes on the side of the Dire.
Oh, bottom lane, Disruption is going to go. Nice defensive disruption, and the Ice Path's going to fly as well. Open Wound's going, but a big Impale coming in from Pandora right now. He's in some trouble. IWO is going to blink forward. That's going to be your first blood for the Anti-Mage, but now AM taking some damage. He's got Blink at 6. He also has an Orb of a Ring of Health. Still chasing. They won't be able to chase him anymore. It was a nice Ice Path, but now more damage from Pandora to MST Co. And IWO is going to come right back in. He's going to blink up on the high ground. There he goes. And so they take first blood. He's going to get another Tango, this time from Mystico. They're out of regen here, but he has that Ring of Health, so that passive regen is going to be going. And a big kill. And now they're going to telekinesis up onto the Chikiro right now, looking for the Impale. It's going to hit, and the kill should be coming next. Yes! Anti-Mage getting another kill there, and now this tri-lane is not going well on the side of DG. Meanwhile, Magnus getting chased up in the top lane. SNA getting that kill. Of course, with the Entangling Claws, I'm sure, and the Orb of Venom. So at least there is that going for them for the Lone Druid. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, Smash is got 24 CS, of course, in comparison to the Gyrocopter, who's got only 11. So right now, Smash playing absolutely fantastically.
TA just getting a little bit juked, but gonna pop the haste rune and gonna go to town on the Lone Druid. He needs an Entangle. Just manages it at level 6. Here comes the Gyrocopter on rotation. Nice meld, so Smash won't take any extra damage and actually gonna go back to town on that Lone Druid. No Entangles just yet, but Smash gonna be driven away. No, he's testing his luck. But meanwhile, this challenge is going abysmally, like you mentioned, for the Dyers. We're gonna see Disruption really can't follow up because Anti-Mage can just blink out of there, and these mana burning illusions going to burn a bit of Anti-Mage's mana. And one thing that is a bit of a problem is that Anti-Mage just has higher natural base movement speed, and with the boots up on the Anti-Mage can just sort of outrun the Lifestealer in most scenarios. So with the Lifestealer just constantly having 0 mana and the mana burn just doing work, it might actually be better just to leave Lifestealer to say, alright, good luck, bro. You can be left out on your own, and just try to gank the middle lane with the other two supports, because I don't really think they can do anything in this bottom lane anymore.
No, they really can. I mean, after those 2 kills, those were 2 important kills. The Anti-Mage is going to be doing pretty well for himself because of that. And on top of that, he's also got 24 CS. SNA also has 24 CS in that top lane, but I think the big difference is, of course, they don't have a mid lane hero. The Gyrocopter is only sitting at 15 CS compared to Sin to Smash, who's sitting at right now 28. So they need to change something here. Either need to get a gank going or just rotate somebody around. They do send the Jakiro up here into the top lane, of course, with the Shadow Demon. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing up here. They're maybe looking for a gank mid. They might look for a gank top. Magnus, of course, has Skewer available, so he'll be fine. They're going to sit here on the high ground looking forward to just come through and look for that gank, of course, in the mid lane right now. Nope. Stop. My little thing was drawing a little too much, but Smash is going to be going for Treads up on that TA. Pretty smart build there, and now it looks like they're going to look for a top gank now onto Mihawk. He's going to back up, wait for the creep wave. He does have reverse polarity, by the way. He is level 6, so they do have to be careful. Now they're going all the way around here. They're just doing this kind of circle maneuver, I think, on the TA, or they're going to wait and just try to pick up this regen rune, or just wait until the TA comes and gets it. Bottle Crow is back, along with Treads for Smash. Gyrocopter looking for the top rune spot. Might use that trap to slow. Smash is going to get spotted out. There's the disruption, the Soul Catcher as well. Ice Path, nice job. Rocket Barrage going. Smash in some trouble. Do they have any vision is the question. Will go down. Ush is going to get that kill. A nice gank is exactly what they needed in that mid lane there for, of course, that Gyrocopter to get some more room to farm, as well as get some experience up for those supports who are having a tough time right now.
When Smash, he had to wait forever because he knew the supports were missing on the bottom lane. He knew Lifesteal was just really not doing anything, so he knew the supports were missing. But those supports waited for so long, they were just so incredibly patient that Smash got a little bit antsy, tried to contest the rune, and he ended up paying for it. But we were going to see a rotation by Nyx, trying to make something happen in the lane. The static trap is going to be popped, as the second one will be used as well. Calldown is going to be popped as well. Melt hit with refraction, doing so much damage to the Gyrocopter, will be able to kill him off, as Jakiro just a little bit too late on his teleport. Does get a 2-man Ice Path, but really not going to accomplish too much in the grand scheme of things, so an immediate counter gank, and they only use 2 heroes for that gank, whereas the Dire side used 3 heroes. So overall, the Raid definitely going to win this exchange, as TA really, again, outfarming the Gyrocopter, has the Treads, has the bottle, will have that magic wand up relatively soon, and Lifesteal forces the jungle. This is going pretty badly for Dust Gaming at this point. They're really going to have to put a lot of eggs in the Lone Druid basket, and right now, even though he's farming well, he's not outfarming the Anti-Mage, which is going to be an issue, because, again, Dust Gaming's lamp is very immobile. It can't really contest split push.
Yeah, they can. And down the bottom lane, the split push is already coming from the Anti-Mage. He's got Treads, got that Ring of Health. TA, I mean, and you talked about just 2 heroes for that gank mid, and really that's all they need. Smash with full levels of Refraction. I mean, you've got the Meld hit as well, coming with the Treads. It's just so much damage from Smash. He's level 7. The Gyrocopter's sitting at 6 right now, so even with that call down, I mean, the Refraction is going to take up a hit of that. Ice Path onto IWO, trying to stop this tower from going down, but it looks like it already might fall. IWO might just tank this tower for a little while and just take the tower kill himself, and he will, in fact, do so. And that's going to be even more gold for him. He's sitting at 1,600 gold. He's probably going to go for that quick Battle Fury. He's already got that Ring of Health, so I don't see why not. Meanwhile, Ush is trying to get out. He's level 5 Shadow Demon, so he's getting some experience himself right now in terms of experience. Level 4 for the Rubik, level 4 for the Jakiro, so that's pretty even right now. Disruption going to go. Call down as well. Soul Catcher. Spike Carapace is actually going to take a lot of that damage away from that. So nice usage for the Spike Carapace there. Smash is going to come in. There's 3 heroes there. Smash, maybe not the best place for you to be. Rocket Barrage already went. Meldal as well. Now they're actually going to back off. They're too scared of these 2 heroes coming in, or 3 heroes, excuse me, as MSC does come right through. He does have telekinesis. He's very slow, doesn't have boots right now. They're diving way past this tower. Rocket Barrage going to go. Smash, of course, taking Soul Catcher. Fable's going to fly as well. Smash looking for Meld. Maybe do some Meld damage to Cran Marker as he's going to get away from there. Meanwhile, Ice Path's going to go Vendetta, and the damage coming in from the Nyx Assassin just in time, but here's another TP coming in from Shim Zazaza. And he's going to pick up a kill, of course. Now Smash looking to get out. He has Refraction available. He's going to pop it off. Magic Wand as well. He's going to throw up a trap just to make sure no one chases him out of there. But in the end, I think it was a 2-for-1 trade. And some more TP rotations now coming in from DG, and they have to leave IWO down there alone. He's going to pick up that Claymore, and that means he's very close to that Battle Fury already at 10 minutes into the game. Meanwhile, on top, Snaz still farming away. He's going to have the Phase Boots done and the Gloves of Haste and Orb of Venom for that Spirit Bear. So he's doing okay, but you talked about that Anti-Mage. He's got 66 CS at this point in time, and that last engagement was not good for the side of DG.
Definitely not, as unfortunately, I guess the Dire supports were a little bit too poor. The Meld just completely owned them. They couldn't re-engage upon the TA because they didn't have any detection. TA just fully took advantage of that. Really nice mastery of TA, using Meld to just dodge everything he possibly could, or just take the focus fire off of him so he could just constantly just re-engage. So really nicely done by Smash in that engagement. Meanwhile, Lone Druid is going to go for the armament most likely, and he needs his arm up ASAP. They need to get the push going. They need to make something happen because they're down a tower. They're down in terms of kills. They're down in terms of farm. They need to get something on their side, and it's got to be the 100 making things happen. But right now, it's a bit tricky because the levels on the supports, they're getting to the point where they can start roaming and start applying a bit of pressure on the 100, and at a certain point, anti will just easily be able to surpass the rate of farm of the 100 and can even push faster than the 100 in some scenarios just because he attacks so much faster with that, or not really attacks so much faster, but he farms quicker because he has a jungle and he just moves around a lot more compared to the 100.
Hmm.
And meanwhile, the Leicester are going to go for drums. Pretty standard build, but the clock is ticking for dust.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the timing right now. IWO has his Voidstone coming out for him already, and he's about 800 gold away from that broadsword, and that's going to be a completed Battle Fury. Should be around the 13, 14-minute mark, and that is a pretty quick Battle Fury. I mean, he's going to have plenty of CS. He's got just so much time to maneuver around this map. He's going to look to push bottom tower as well. They're not going to rotate through just yet, but they will eventually. TP is up on the Shadow Demon, not on the Gyrocopter right now. Meanwhile, they're going to try to push this and just dive onto Cran Marker, and he's in some trouble, but he'll get out of there just in time. Disruption's going to fly from Ush, a little bit wasted there, but MSTco will have to back off. As now Shim's is going to go in. Nice telekinesis there as Rage is not used just yet. Ice Path going to MSTco. MSTco is going to fall. Smash going to look for some kills. Nice double impale there. Chikiro's going to fall first. Now Gyrocopter in some trouble as well. That Smash with a double kill. Looking for another kill on Us. You can potentially die this Refraction. Down for another 8 seconds, but doesn't matter. He'll pick up that double kill, and that's just even more farm for Smash right now, who's sitting on treads. He's sitting on, he's bought something. He's got to have more than that. I think he's got to have something flying on the courier. Yeah, his Blink Dagger is done for Smash, so that is a 11-minute, 45-second Blink Dagger. I don't want to shorten him. I mean, he had just some great ganks, some great timing as well. And I got to say, yeah, Dust is, they're in a bit of trouble here. They need Snow to accelerate his farm somehow, and it's just going to be really, really difficult.
Anti-Age is even able to kill off a tier 2 on the bottom lane, and he doesn't
Oh,
even have his Battle Fury yet, and now he does 12 minutes. This is a ridiculous time, especially pick up the
yeah.
treads first. So with 2 tower kills under his belt, being uncontested, things are not looking good for Dust Gaming, and the Leicester are really not able to have that big of an impact at this point. The aggressive challenges really
Smoke
did
gank.
not work out, as we're going to see a smoke gank on the top lane.
Yeah.
The lone druid, I think, might be aware of this. He knows everybody is missing off the map, and he knows he's probably the likely target since the other heroes on his team are very, very sort of protected, relatively speaking. But Pandora, looking for initiation, does get the Vend hit, and here comes the Blink Dagger TA. They're gonna kill off the Lone Druid, gonna force some teleports, but here comes the Magnus trying to cancel the RP so he can get as many people as possible. Should be able to get the Shadow
He might go
Demon.
down. The Shadow Poison, the Shockwave. He's trying to get it off before he dies. He'll get it off on Ush, but Ush is going to still survive. TP rotations from everybody. Pandora also in some trouble right now. Ice Path's going to go the call down. That will take the kill. MSTco trying to get out. Smash is already way out of there. Spell's stolen. It's actually going to be that Rage, so MSTco will have, of course, that Rage, but he has no TP right now. Nice slow coming out from the side of Smash. Open Moon's not available for another 5 seconds here from the side of Chim Jajaja. MSTco still trying to get away, and I mean, nice trap again from, of course, Smash, just using those traps so effectively. There's the Open Moon's Rage away, and that should be the end of the chase there. I don't think Chim Jajaja can catch him, but the tower doing more damage. Phase Boot still going. Courier gonna bring something to somebody. I think the Anti-Mage, of course, that was his Battle Fury. In the meantime, he'll get away, smashes back to the mid lane. In the end, a 2-for-2 trade, I think, maybe a 2-for-1 trade, actually, because I don't think Ush actually went down, despite how low he was. So they do lose 2 heroes. Not that big of a deal because, of course, IWO is still continuing to farm. His Battle Fury is completed. He's got 900 gold in the bank, and this is a Tier 1 tower as well going down for the Templar Assassin. That's even more gold. So they do accomplish their mission of getting the kill on Low Drew, but it costs 2 heroes, including the Magnus, who had to use his reverse polarity just to, well, he really wanted to use it before he died, so that was pretty much the point.
But keep in mind, TA was able to get the last hit on the tower, and hers farm is through the roof. And right now, it's pretty much impossible for Dust Gaming actually to push. But there are mechanisms for them to win the late game if they manage to turtle it out, because both these heroes do build to Basher and Anti-Mage. Pretty weak to Basher in general, but still, that's of course talking about around 50 minutes in the game, and right now Dust Gaming is in a terrible position. No towers, not any sort of hope to getting a tower. This Gyrocopter being very, very useless at this point, really just thrown himself, or put in a pretty bad position for the most part, could not win his lane, and right now Magnus with the Arcane Boots making his way towards his own definitely benefiting from those 3 tower kills. And once Magnus gets his dagger, it's going to be very, very difficult for Dustgang to actually engage upon the enemy team. And that's what they need to do. As Smash farming the bottom lane, he has no fear, has a dagger as well as a regen rune, as Smoke to See is going to be popped. But where's the setup stun going to come from? He can't really come from Disruption because he could just blink away. And the TA mobility, again, the immobility on the side of the Dire is really hurting them at this point. They just can't keep up as
Whoa.
mass disconnects.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I've seen this from Artyk before, where they've had some trouble with. I think
Maybe
they
they
actually
play in
all
the same LAN cafe or something.
I think they play in the same house or something like that. The three of those guys do, and that's happened before. I've seen that kind of disconnect happen, but immediately Smash gets back into the game. Hopefully, we'll have an explanation as to why that happened. But fear not, as everyone does reconnect slowly but surely. So yeah, I mean, right now, Smash, like you talked about, he's really in no danger. There's no one that can really stun him. I mean, if they get the disruption off, the ice path has to come right afterwards and hit up right under that ice path in order for them to actually be able to get that kill. But then that's easier said than done, and Smash is actually making his way out of that lane. He can blink away, and he probably will if he notices this happening. Brown's going to ping on Smash and say, maybe let's go for this. IWO, in the meantime, very close to his Yasha. If he wants to go down that route, I don't see why he wouldn't. Top lane, Sna, he's getting chased after a little bit here. There's 3 heroes in his general vicinity. Pandora is right around him, of course, with that Vendetta up on him. No sentry wards here, as that is a sentry ward. That is a dire sentry, so actually they do see that. I believe they might have caught the tail end of Pandora roaming through. Gonna jump back into the game. Meanwhile, Smash still getting chased bottom lane. Smash, of course, still has that blink dagger. This is quite a good bait coming out from the side of DG, as they have everybody sort of just kind of around it, but now they're going to roam away. They say forget it. Smash is going to come back in. Smash, meanwhile, sitting at 2,000 gold, going to continue to farm him. And Anti-Mage is going to share the jungle with him, share the wealth, if you will. 16,000 or 1,600, not 16,000. That'd be a lot of gold, but no, not that much. Mihawk in the top lane looking for blink dagger of his own. He's at 1,300, so he'll be about 900 away from the blink dagger at this point. And Sna might get chased down a little bit, as everyone does rotate through from DG. And now Smash is going to get some room to farm in the mid lane here. And they can just keep playing this farm game. I mean, they're leading the way. There's absolutely no reason for them to stop doing this until they get the items that they have from the Anti-Mage and from Smash. And, when they feel comfortable. They have the RP. They have an ability to fight 4v5 and potentially win those fights. And Smash is actually doing a good job of split pushing right now, just doing a decent amount of damage to this tower in the mid lane. But he'll get out of there, as there are 2 heroes here from DG. But
Really good movement by the side of Artyk, as they're just constantly split pushing up all across the map. Really just pressuring multiple lanes, and while they're pressuring one lane, the other hero is farming in the jungle, so they're constantly outfarming their opponents. And one thing that is going to be a problem very, very soon for Dustgang, on top of everything else, is the dagger almost up on the Magnus, and Nick Assassin will have his dagger up at a similar time, and that's going to be very, very bad. But there are mechanisms that Dustgang can potentially come back. All it takes is one team fight, and this Dustgang lineup, even though it doesn't really have sort of that many items, Lifesteal and Lone Druid can do a lot of damage, and Lone Druid almost has his armor up. He will have it in about 150 gold, so his bear will be tankier, it can do a bit more damage. Usually get the armor to push, so knowing that they're not pushing, this will be a little bit less effective, but still, it'll sort of give him that comfort. It's knowing that, okay, I got one item, I can get my way to the next. As Smash gonna initiate, trying to do a bit of damage to the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter looking to scurry on out of there. I think Gyrocopter should be okay, but they are gonna force yet another TP. Man, these supports are gonna be dirt poor. They already are dirt poor, and that's gonna cost them the wards, as another mass disconnect gonna resume.
yeah, that is very strange. That's as Blue does apologize, MST Code just saying sorry about this. It's understandable. Things happen in the Dota community, but I wanted to point out IWO went for Vladimir's offering on the Anti-Mage rather than getting up that quick Yasha. I think that's potentially a good pickup there, because he's going to get that Yasha, I think, regardless. And I think the Vlad's is just a nice little pickup. It's very cheap, and it's very cost-effective as well. I mean, the lifesteal is going to be really nice to have. I mean, the bonus armor, 5 bonus armor for your entire team is pretty great. The bonus damage as well, 15%. I mean, I think Vlad's is a great item early on if you're looking for some early aggression, which they certainly are. If he can get his Yasha and even a quick Manta style after that, I think they can probably start taking some fights with him. But
Yeah, right now he still has less than 820 HP, but that Vlad's will just help him farm a lot easier. He can start clearing out those ancient stacks, which is something he was unable to do so far. As Nick Assassin maneuvering around, looking to get himself into position. We're going to see a blink ahead by Smash, looking to engage upon the enemy. Here comes the rotation by Misko, looking for a telekinesis. Meanwhile, Pandora going to get gone upon by the Leicester. Pandora will most assuredly die. They're going to use a dust. They will be able to kill off the Nyx, but meanwhile Rubik will be on the tree as Anti-Mage is going to push the base, and this is just so irritating as it's going to force more TPs, and every time they get a bit of gold, or just snatches away, just forcing teleports all across the map. And TA still able to pick up the kill nonetheless. Might sacrifice her life, but should be okay. Shadow Demon, oh, we'll be able to pick up the kill, so I guess that's something, but still, they took about half damage to their tier 3, and one more engagement like that, and that will mean your Rex will be exposed, and one more engagement after that, the Rex will be dead.
Yeah, and I mean, that was... It looked really good, I think, for a period of time for DG, and then they're like, oh, wait, our tier 3 is going down, we need to get over there, and then Smash is like, alright, well, I'm going to kill your support in the meantime, but Smash, a little bit too, I think, brave in that engagement. Just dove right uphill up into the tier 3 where there was like 3 heroes positioned here. I mean, the Rocket Barrage came in. She had like no health left and she had no refraction able to save her life. So she did go down in the end. Meanwhile, IWO picking up a haste rune. He's got 1,700 gold already, back up to a decent amount of farm. Checking out his net worth, by the way. He's sitting at 10,000. His GPM is at 530 already at 18 minutes into the game. Mihawk sitting at very close to a Blink Dagger, 30 gold, 48 gold, excuse me, away from that. And when Blink reverse polarities happen, that's going to be a big deal. Meanwhile, Sna, there's going to, of course, be that initiation coming in from Smash right now. And Pale's going into Sna right now. They're going to TP in and defend this. Blink coming out. Pandora is out of there. Do they have any sort of vision? True Sight doesn't look like it. Smash, in the meantime, just trying to go on this Jakiro Ice Path. Nope, narrowly avoiding it, but not really. Smash is going to get caught up in that. Meanwhile, they're going to keep chasing the bear, looking for Pandora. Call down's going to go. We're going to initiate MST Code right on the edge. He's going to go down with that Rocket Barrage and the call down, so they will pick up that kill. He'll buy back immediately. Smash melding away. There's, of course, going to be that dust and an entangle as well. Big Blink, big reverse polarity, but where else is the damage going to come from? The Skewer, that's where it's going to come from. Mihawk taking a double kill right now, but Crayon Marker, excuse me, going to get a double kill as well. Pandora trying to get out of there. Meanwhile, where's the anti-mage in all of this nonsense? He's mid. He's just trying to push into that base. Pandora's going to get open wounds. He's got Spike Carapace in 3, nice and pale, but not going to save his life. He will go down. The buyback from MST Co. He's still chasing, but no one else is here to help him out. Blink Dagger is going to get pushed up for the next assassin. And that tier 2 tower, IWO is going to take it down. Of course, Ice Path's going to fly out. Nice avoidance of it. And he's going to take the tower himself. And he purchased something up. It's sitting right there. That's the Yasha done for the Anti-Mage. Very close to Ultimate Orb as well as that Manta style. And we're going to get a pause as we do have some lag from DG. And actually a lot of the ping issues are coming from the side of course, Artyk. But IWO wants to Roche right now.
Misco gonna get chased down by the Leicester with the phase boots, and one more hit will be the death of the Rubik. Gonna use the Infest to polish off that kill. A bit surprising that Anti-Age didn't push into the base and try to take down the bottom barracks while that was happening, because he did force a lot of teleports on the top lane and a lot of heroes were actually dead, but the creepy equilibrium was simply not in his favor. So he went for the more safer, the more for sure option that he could definitely get. He managed to pick off the tier 2. Now they're going to get the Aegis. So even though Dust Gaming pulled ahead in terms of the kill count, overall the gold count is still tremendously against him as another mass disconnect going to ensue. Very, very unfortunate as internet problems are happening abounds. But, I mean, all is not lost for Dust Gaming. Even though they're losing the Aegis, they are losing desperately in terms of map control. Leicester does have his armlet, Gyrocopter, drums, so I guess that's something. Lone Druid has armlet, trying to make his way towards the Maelstrom most likely. There are definitely ways they can sort of get themselves back in the game, but it's going to have to be on the back of a lot of mistakes. And Smash has died a couple more times, has picked up a Yasha as Anti-Mage looking to secure the Manta style. I think once they finish the Manta style and maybe try to get the heart, I think that's when Artyk will look to seal the deal, because you never really want to take chances. Even when you have a Leicester and an Anti-Mage on your side, you don't want to take chances against a Gyrocopter, a Leicester, and a Lone Druid.
Yeah, I mean, and that, I was actually really surprised that they decided to Roche there. That was something that, I mean, he, like you said, he wasn't there for that entire team fight. Ewo wasn't, and he just decided to say, hey, I'm going to solo Roche up until Smash got there. Whoa, very quick blink from Smash, just narrowly avoiding some damage there. He will take a Demonic Purge, but he should be okay. Dust is coming out. Pandora not in a good position. He is going to go down, as they do have that nice little Sentry Ward placed there. So already Pandora is gone. The Bear is going to try to siege up this tower here with Sna. Meanwhile, EWO is going to push out the bottom lane, and this is really where it's going to be difficult. DG wants to try to take the Tier 1 tower, but if they wait here any longer, they're going to lose the Tier 3 up in that bottom lane, and in fact, they have no fortification. It might actually just go down right now. EWO is thinking about backing. They're pinging. They know that they have the vision on them, and they're going to try to take the fight to him now and just make him waste some teleportations as well as just Smash is going to look for some kills here. There's the Rocket Barrage. Smash in some trouble. Now looking for him as well. Ice Pad barely missing. Bottom lane. Disruption is going to go. But that's only the Shadow Demon there. All 4 heroes are still coming through mid. So that's what you need to do, I think, if you're on the side of Artyk. Just defend the mid lane by having the anti-mage split pushing. We've talked about it since the game even started. I mean, you made a point of just saying, well, he's just going to split push the entire game. And that's what he's been doing. He does have that Ultimate Orb Dumb Manta style recipe as well on the Courier. So Manta's done at 22 minutes of the game with the Vlads on top of course, his Treads and Battle Fury. Pretty good farm. He's level 15, almost 16 at this point. And if he can get that Heart of Trash started even and get a Reaver, he's going to be in a pretty good position. And he didn't kill that last creep. Why not?
Oh my god. Carrie's worst nightmares. He's looking to do a bit of rest into the Laundry. Going to pop the Manta style. Laundry complete out of mana. Will look for a mana void. No, an entangling root or an entangling claw. Going to root that anti-H to the ground. About all the while, Artyk going to push down the top tier 1. Looking to pick up a second as the TP's just not there. They're going to give up this tier 2. They want to get some gold in their bank. They're going to trade a tier 2 for a tier 1. And I mean, in this situation, you've got to do it because I don't think they can defend the top tier 2 regardless. At least they can get something in exchange. As meanwhile, this might not be the end of Artyk's push. Ewo putting himself into a threatening situation or a threatening position to go to town on the top barracks. They still have the Aegis up on the TA as Antimage looking to split push while the rest of his team might seek to take an engagement. There are going to be teleports back to defend the base on the side of Dust Gang, but Ewo positioning himself in the middle lane. Are they going to rotate to the bottom? The creep equilibrium is pushed very, very far away. Ewo just going to bypass it altogether. Going to try to kill off this tier 3. He will be successful, so a free tier 3. Because the top creeps were in the dire base, technically the backdoor regen did not ensue, and Smash now has free reign to just roam in the dire base unimpeded.
Yeah, right now he's looking for a pick-off here. He's getting dangerously close to Crayon Marker. There's a reverse floating, only onto 1. Crayon Marker in some trouble. Skewer back. Nice disruption to save him defensively, but IWO going to come in, get an immediate kill on the Shadow Demon. Call down's going to go. IWO in some trouble. Can't get out of there. He's entangled right now. He is going to go down. Pandora, Smash still here as well. Crayon Marker in some trouble. And everybody disconnects as this happens. And that's really, I think, where the fight's going bad. They're not pausing. They need to pause the game. And Jakiro does it for them. In a very strange engagement.
What a nice guy. The opposing players pausing as the other team's getting wiped.
Yeah, I mean, the Aegis is being used there for, of course, Smash. And yeah, that's a problem, I think. That could have gone so much better, and I think that the reason why that didn't go so much better and it's not going so much better is because I think everybody disconnected out, except for, of course, MSTco, who's got to sit behind, and Pandora, who I didn't think realized it at first. But he doesn't have Blink available for another 2 seconds, and he's going to get chased down by that bear. He wants that kill desperately on Snot. He's got Impale in 1. He'll probably use it. I don't know if that'll be enough. And the Jakiro is also very low, too. I mean, they want both of those kills. Smash is going to come back up in just a second. Chimjajaja is kind of really not low at all. And that was a really great call down coming in on that anti-base. You couldn't do anything. Oh, the Entangling Root. Snot getting a double kill. Smash not in the best position. Trying to go to town, of course, on that lifestealer, but he has to back off. And they sort of lost that engagement. I think they just dove a little too far. MSTco is getting, of course, that home missile chasing after him right now. And he should maybe can use that smoke to get away, I think. There he goes. But that, I guess it goes through smoke. Nope.
No, it doesn't hit invisible units, but they're actually going to re-engage. Smash looking to kill off the Jakiro, does so in a matter of moments as Misko going to try to deep up the open wounds. It doesn't matter. Leicester, of course, has higher base movement speed than the Rubik, as Smash going to meld. Though they have detection, they're going to drop a sentry. Defensive disruptor going to be dropped on Shadow Demon himself. Smash going to get besieged. He will end up dying, and this is really, really unfortunate for Artyk game, to say the least. But even then, I don't know if they would have won the engagement if they sort of... Because they got one-man RP, and they're pushing into the base without creeps. No creeps on the top lane, no creeps in the middle lane, as the towers did their job. So they're pushing without the creeps. Even if they won the team fight, they couldn't really take buildings. So, I don't know. They're playing a bit too aggressively.
Go right back in. They're going to go right back in, looking for a kill on this Lone Druid right now. Nice and impaled, and Snot will go down. He does not have buyback. And now I think is the time. If they want to go for more, if they want to push forward, they absolutely can without Lone Druid really to worry about. But of course, still alive is of course the Gyrocopter and the Lifestealer, and they don't have Smash left, and MSTco has to move foot style all the way up through the lane. So and they might want to just try to take that tier 3. The lane is pretty pushed right now. They're going to wait for their creep wave to get there. IWO, I think he wants to go bottom lane as well. Look for the Raxes as the creep wave will be in the base. Call down's going to fly. Pandora's going to hit up with 80 devs. Have Spike Carapace. Blink Dagger now available. IWO going to town on the melee Raxes at this point in time. And Zha's just going to rage up, looking for, of course, some more engagement. But another disconnect now coming out, this time only from IWO. And, oh my god, says Ush. It is very interesting that this is happening. I don't know, how is this happening? I kind of want to know.
This is very, very unfortunate because it's safe to say that Artyk has the advantage. Just it might be, you know, a little bit out of the ordinary, but I think it's safe to say that Artyk has the advantage. No doubt about that. But yeah, you know, some problems are happening. Magnus does have the RP, so that might be why the Antage is playing so aggressive. He did force out the glyph. I think once he did that, he's just going to blink out of there, and they don't really have anything to set up. They don't have a Shouty disruption, so they can't synergize it with Ice Pass, because Shouty is just a little bit out of the range. And I like that he actually maxed the disruption. He knows how important that cooldown reduction is in this game, but the game is going to resume. EO should probably just blink right on out of there. Yes, he does escape, knowing that his teammates aren't there to back him up, and knowing that he forced out the glyph. Mission was accomplished in the end, and all the tier 2s, all the outer towers have been cleared on the side of Dust Gaming. So we'll see what Artyk decides to do, if they're going to play it safe, try to wait for the next Roshan, or if they're just going to go in. And it seems like they just want to go in and try to end the game. Maybe they want to end the game so they don't have to face any more disconnects in a more crucial late game scenario, or maybe they just feel like they have a vastly superior advantage. And I think that might be the right call, as Anti-Mage getting dangerously close to getting that Reaver as well as the VIP booster up. And once he gets the heart, he is going to be so difficult to bring down.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, right now, I think that is actually what they're waiting for. The Anti-Mage, you get the Heart of Trask. Once that's finished up, Anti-Mage is probably going to be really difficult to kill on top of that. But like you said, I mean, they're having some trouble with these disconnect issues, and the longer that they wait to push into the base, the more difficult it may become. But there's a lot of heroes here for, of course, the Radiant, and they're looking for some dire kills in the jungle. The Jakiro's going to back off. The Lifestealer's going to back off. So they're just kind of trying to converge right now. Impale's going to fly. Ice Path barely hitting right now. Slow's coming in. There's going to be the Demonic Purge as well. Vendetta up on Pandora. There's going to be the call down. Pandora's going to go down immediately again. And they're going to back up. Mihawk, he might be looking for that Blink Reverse. Demonic Purge stolen, going on the bear right now. They're all sort of in a pretty exposed position. But meanwhile, going to force out a ton of TPs. And IWO and Smash just going to back right off. Going to look for that tier 3. Smash wants it. But, of course, here comes Cran Marker. IWO is going to back off as well. Ice Path barely missing. Now they're going to just try to fight. Nope, everybody's back in the base right now.
Oh, Anti-Mage able to clean up the Shadow Demon on the top lane, able to blink out, but does get bashed by the bear, who just managed to finish off the basher, but Evo doesn't care. Nice RP by Mihawk, but the macro power and the Ice Path holding Anti-Mage in place actually did a lot of DPS, going to kill off the Magnus. Anti-Mage forced to retreat, does not yet have that heart, that bash by the bear, negating so much of the Anti-Mage damage. Smash is going to get picked off, and no disconnects on this count, but Evo, already forcing out multiple TPs, might be able to kill off the spawn bear, because I think he will be able to take it, as he's going to focus on the creeps. The backdoor protection is in place because creeps are not in base, or maybe it's not, maybe they're pushing in the middle lane, but Anti-Mage forced to retreat. Misko actually going to end up losing his life, and suddenly Dust Gaming looking in a lot better position, because Artyk is pretty much just feeding them kills, which is definitely not something you want to have happen, as the bear has a basher. Lifestealer probably going to make his way towards his own basher very, very soon, and if they manage to get some bashers, it might not matter how farmed Anti-Mage is. If they manage to get 1 or 2 bashes, that could very well easily end the life of the Anti-Mage. So Artyk gonna have to play a bit more defensively, I feel like. Wait for the next Roshan.
He's going Butterfly instead of Heart of Trask, actually, which is surprising. I mean, that is just going to be a ton of damage. Next Roshan is up in 2.5 minutes, I think, roughly. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, yeah. That was... I'm not really sure what they wanted to accomplish there. Smash, I think, barely could have just made it away, but unfortunately that was a really nice Ice Path coming out from the Jakiro, and I think that really got them the kill there, because that Refraction, I think, was available to meld as well. Would have been nice to have. But IWO, he's going to get smacked up immediately with that Basher, and an Entangle coming out as well. But, of course, he's going to he's got that nice mischance going through, but he's going to Mantis Towel away immediately. And Demonic Purge already used. Now they're still trying to chase. Yeah, he can't solo the entire team. I mean, he wants to try, but it's not going to happen. The Bear... not going to be going on him right now. Meanwhile, Smash is going to kind of come back through with the rest of his team. Pandora coming into the bottom lane. He's got, of course, that Perseverance and a Blink Dagger. Speaking of Perseverance right now and Blink Dagger, Mihawk has the exact same, looking to try to get that Refresher.
Yeah,
Bear's going to
meanwhile,
take
the
some
Leicester are
damage.
going to go for the Demon Edge, looking to get the MKB immediately noticing. So he's going to delay the Basher, probably the smart choice, so he can do all of his damage rather than just hoping that he gets some bashes with the mischance, which is very unlikely as Evo looking to siege the Barn Barracks yet again, but is going to be stopped once again by the side of the Dire. But the Radiant maneuvering themselves into position, just want to keep the Dire pent up in the base. Smash going to work on the tier 3 tower, getting to very low HP, but going to lose a lot of HP in the process. The anti-mage illusions going to work on the Bound Barracks yet again. And meanwhile, Magnus is just waiting for the perfect moment to jump in there. Rubik with the Ghost Scepter can endure a lot of pain now. He doesn't have to worry about the physical damage for a bit. But I think this is just, yeah, this is just to buy time for the next Aegis. As now you see the side of Artyk backing off, looking to get the Roshan, and they will be able to get the next one without too much of a hitch. They have the Melt, they have the Anti-Mage, and they should be able to clean up very, very quickly.
Yeah, I want to see who they do give that Aegis to. I think probably giving it up to the anti-mage at this point is probably the better idea. So that poor man's shield smash has been pretty effective, but I think he's starting to lose a little bit of his effectiveness here. Looking for his crit, I believe, next, as he's got Blades of Attack, I'd imagine. Smoke now coming out from DG. They're going to look to try to get out of the base here, and actually, looks like Artyk won't notice this, at least not yet anyways. They have no vision, it looks like, in terms of sentries or anything like that. They have one right here in the mid lane. I don't know if that's going to catch anybody out. Might be catching out the Jakiro, but it doesn't matter. Roche is already gone. I didn't even notice that they already went in there. IW are going to pick up that Aegis, and now they're going to look to fight. And they can perhaps blink reverse or something like that. Rage is going to go. Pandora in some trouble. He's taking a spike carapace. Pandora taking some damage as well. Call down Artie up again. Reverse polarity onto Sna. Sna in some trouble. Going to take a lot of damage. He's going to get focused down. 2 down already. Now IWO going on to Jakiro as well. Shadow Blade up on, of course, Cran Marker. Now they're going to chase after the Lifestealer. Has Rage available. Might use it. He's got open wounds as well. There goes the Rage. Skewer going to miss because, of course, that Rage. But GG's going to be called, and that's going to be it. It looks like they realize after that team fight they can't buy back. They cannot defend. They tried to delay for as long as possible. But in the end, IWO just getting 2 farmed, sitting at a net worth of approximately 22,000. His GPM is at 734. It's the second game in a row we've seen somebody just absolutely outcarry the opposing team. And being very mannered, they apologize about the DCs, and yeah, that did happen, but in the end, Artyk played an extraordinarily well-played game, and you expect that of a top-tier team in the American region.
Yeah, Arctic, definitely the best team in South America, looking to make themselves known to more of an international audience, as they definitely put on a very, very strong performance. I mean, it really came down to the laning phase, and even though I did expect Duskgang Triline to win, I guess I really underestimated the mana burn potential, which is something I touched upon, but just not having enough mana on the Lifestealer just means no open wounds, a lot fewer disruptions into Ice Bats, and that Triline lost very convincingly, and once that happened, it was pretty much just a steamroll effect, as not only did that Triline lose, the middle lane lost, and once you lose that against split pushing lineup, it is enormously difficult to beat it with an incredibly immobile lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, if we saw time and time again, the Anti-Mage is just like, all right, there's a fight going on, I'm going to blink, go into the bottom racks, try to take the tier 3 in the raxes, and he did a pretty good job of forcing out TPs, like you said, making the supports extraordinarily poor. And I think that was just really superb, not only anti-mage play, but I think play from the entire team to realize when they can fight, when they can be aggressive, and when they can try to get some room for him to split push in. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I think that should be it for us here. Feel free to join us tomorrow again on the same stream. We're going to have the semifinals and the finals wrapping up here for this cup. This is, of course, Raidcall EMS Summer 1, the American Cup. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. My name is Maut. With me is B-Ballin. B-Ballin, any shout-outs before we leave?
No shoutouts. Just please follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, bballin773 on all those locations. But thanks for watching, everybody.
Absolutely. I'd also like to thank you for joining me, guys. And, of course, you can follow me at twitter.com/MautDota2. And, yeah, so good stuff there. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you all later.